On the evening of August 7th, the holy city of Mecca hosted a meeting that altered the geopolitical architecture of the Middle East. The leaders of Saudi Arabia, Turkey, and Pakistan sat down to sign a joint defense agreement. The mechanics of this pact are pulled directly from the playbook of the West. It is effectively a localized version of NATO's collective defense clause, designed to create a unified trilateral shield. The text establishes a specific trigger. An armed attack on any single member is treated as a declaration of war against all three. Observers are already labeling this an Islamic NATO. It marks a significant shift in the region, moving away from a world where security is managed exclusively by external superpowers. These three massive Islamic powers are no longer waiting for Western protection. They have constructed their own unified military bloc. This shift was driven by the extreme vulnerability of the Saudi state. The kingdom's wealth is tied to a network of sprawling, exposed oil refineries and desalination plants that span the desert. Over the last year, those facilities have become targets. Iranian-backed proxy forces, specifically Houthi rebels in Yemen, have launched continuous swarms of drones and missiles across the Saudi border and into Red Sea shipping lanes. For half a century, Saudi Arabia relied on the United States' security umbrella to defend these assets. But that shield is increasingly porous against the sheer volume of incoming fire. The United States is burning through multi-million-dollar interceptor missiles to shoot down $1,000 drones. Recent reports indicate that American stockpiles of these interceptors are running dangerously low in the region. Realizing that Washington's protection was no longer guaranteed, Riyadh faced a strategic crisis. They needed a new regional deterrent to secure their borders. Saudi Arabia provides the capital. They have the immense oil reserves and the ambition to lead the Islamic world, but they lack a battle-hardened, self-sufficient military. That is where Turkey enters the equation. Under President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, Ankara acts as the veteran strategist, bringing the discipline of a military trained within the NATO system. Turkey supplies advanced tactical training and weapons technology. Their Bayraktar TB2 drones have proven lethal in modern combat, offering Riyadh a way to counter low-cost proxy swarms. In return, Turkey expands its geopolitical reach. By embedding its military technology in the Gulf, Ankara projects its influence deeper into the heart of the Middle East. It is a mutual synergy. Saudi Arabia secures NATO-tier defense systems, while Turkey secures a massive influx of capital and regional dominance. The final pillar is Pakistan, represented by Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif. Islamabad brings raw, experienced military muscle to the alliance. Pakistan provides immediate, boots-on-the-ground support. They have already deployed thousands of combat troops and fighter jets directly to Saudi soil to secure the kingdom. But their most critical contribution is the ultimate strategic deterrent. Pakistan is the only nuclear-armed nation in the Islamic world. Their agreements include a commitment to defend one another using all military means. Analysts interpret this specific language as the extension of a nuclear umbrella over Saudi Arabia. By integrating Saudi capital, Turkish military hardware, and Pakistan's nuclear deterrence, these three nations have formed a self-contained power center. It is a regional superpower built to operate independently of the United States. For South Asia, the concern is immediate. If Pakistan is shielded by a collective defense agreement, New Delhi must calculate whether this alliance poses a direct threat to India. Consider a scenario like the recent border skirmishes between the two nations. If a new military clash breaks out, does this pact force Saudi Arabia and Turkey to mobilize against India? This calculation is governed by a strategy called hedging. It is a process where nations avoid picking a single side, building multiple, sometimes conflicting alliances to maximize their own benefits. This chart shows Saudi Arabia's bilateral trade volumes. Riyadh's multi-billion-dollar energy and trade ties with India far outweigh its economic relationship with Pakistan. Despite the defense pact, Saudi Arabia operates on economic self-interest. They are unlikely to risk their financial future by declaring war on an economic giant like India just to honor a regional security treaty. While this alliance changes the Middle East, it also signals a new era. Regional powers are building blocks for local survival rather than global conflict, forcing nations like India to constantly recalibrate their own strategic equations.